Hi, guys. We are back with another special edition of The Buzz as we are continuing our coverage of the Tribeca Festival. We recently attended the red carpet premiere for the documentary Jail Time Records and spoke with Dione Roach, Jocelyne Chaput, and Taika Waititi. Now, this documentary takes place in one of the largest prisons in Cameroon. While it doesn't shy away from the fact of what a prison setting is, and the reason I'm mentioning that is because you're going to hear the theme joy said multiple times throughout this. And that is because these prisoners are using music as a way of expression. So we already have this conception of what prison is, but the way that these men found a way to work together to create music, that's something that's very unheard of. And it gets to be showcased. You're going to hear exactly why this film needed to be made and why it needed to be finished. Here it is. Take a look at our interviews with the crew of Jail Time Records.
Welcome to Buzzworthy Radio. Here's your host, NaVell J. Lee.
So you are one of the directors of this movie for Jail Time Records. I do want to ask, because I know you also are a painter, you like to paint, you like to do everything with the arts. Do you feel like when this film, as well as directing it, it influenced your art also in a way too?
Shout out to
I
all
think
the-
definitely. I am a paint. I started off with painting, and
started
then
off with painting.
I went more into film and video because of where life brought me and the fact that I was working with people and it was a much more collaborative process. I have a part of my visual art that I keep quite separate. That's painting, and it's very influenced by probably just the environment I'm in. But then I also do a lot of painting with the prisoners. Yeah, so there's a lot of communal work we're doing. We did a lot of painting inside the prison, like murals. We transformed the whole death row into a garden. So we did murals.
Oh, wow.
So we were really working on trying to bring another ambience to a place where prisoners might never see nature again. So we decided to transform the whole quarter into nature, and we have a collective as well of painters working together. We supply material, we do workshops, and yeah. So there's that part of visual arts that I keep doing that I'm doing with people now rather than just individually.
Just individually, right. What was it that attracted you to want to be a part of this project? How did you get involved?
At the time, I was actually teaching video and photography in an art school in Cameroon. And it was through an NGO, and they also had a program, a sewing workshop inside the prison. But I could volunteer some programs, and I volunteered a painting program for the underage. And from that, I love dance. So I started bringing dancers in the prison to organize just events to bring some joy, basically. And during one of these dance events, I met a group of rappers. They just took the mic of the MC and they started rapping. And it was very, very strong. It was very powerful. The intensity of what they were doing, this need of expression in a place where you would not imagine, where there's not all of this freedom of expression, basically. And that inspired me. I kept thinking about it for months, and then I met one of them, and they were doing rehearsals about a concert they were organizing. And then I met Steve, who was incarcerated at the time, and together we put on this project. We did a recording studio. We decided just basically, to use what was already there rather than imposing something. It was just a way of kind of giving a platform of expression to people that were already doing music, that already that needed just a space and some material to do it.
You talked about, I feel like the theme that we may see when we watch this, or even when other people hear about it, is about joy and ambiance. Is that what you feel like people will take away when they watch Jail Time Records? Because I feel like from at least from when it was explained to me, that we're kind of taking away from that. I guess I could say stereotypical vision of what when you're incarcerated looks like. This is something that they found some joy, they found some semblance, and they found some love in doing. Do you think that's really what people will take away from watching?
I think yes. I think prison is not a place where you would expect to find joy, but there is. I think prison is very representative of somehow it has something of the human condition. And so I think it speaks deeply to who we are. You know, it shows dark parts of the human soul.
Of
But
course.
it shows also the light parts, and it shows how these two parts can live together, and how some people that maybe have passed more through the darkest sides of life might actually be doing an effort to go towards somewhere lighter, and it might be through music, it might be through self-discovery, and yeah, so I hope it can bring some hope, like in general, some light.
But the fact that we have such a film, we don't really have something like this that people get to see. I was just speaking with Dione a few moments ago, and it's weird that we're using themes like joy and some kind of where you don't feel that in a prison setting, but you're going to see people working together, putting music out like this. I watched clips of the video recently, and it was just like, yeah, we really don't see something like this. But what was your takeaway when you got involved in the project?
Yeah, I like that you used the word joy. It was one of my first impressions of the material.
Really?
Amongst so many other impressions. I was really floored by what I saw when I first started working with Steve and Dione. Their camera is just so I don't often talk about the camera as having like its own gaze, you could immediately feel like the relationship that they had with people on
Yeah.
and that there's like a trust and a love and a care that comes across.
That's what she was saying, because when you look at it, it's like obviously you're gonna hear the dark parts of it. You're not really thinking about when you're in prison. It's not some semblance of where people can find this ethic to put something like this together, where it is music, where it is. I don't know. I'm just amazed, kind of. I'm amazed, and I haven't seen it yet, so I'm kind of interested to see how this is portrayed, and that's really why I'm kind of sitting here going, it's interesting you're hearing these words, because our conception of prison is that it's a prison.
Yes.
It's a prison,
And it is. And we're not glossing over that at all. I think it's like multitudes.
Okay.
But that there is joy, there is so much life happening, so much human spirit, just like so inspiring to witness. And at the same time, it is an overcrowded prison. And those two things are true.
Right.
And
yeah, both those things can be true at once.
yeah, they can. And I think I think it's a testament to Steve and Dione's relationships with all these artists that what you're seeing is the joy, because there's just like a true collaborative, loving kind of relationship that the directors have with the artists who are in front of the camera. And that's the part that really floored me the most in the end. Is I think that's the best way I can put words to it, is just that you don't get this kind of footage if you don't have the relationships.
You have to have that chemistry, even though it's a documentary, you still have to have that chemistry to work together like this. And was that because you kind of touched on something where I wanted to ask this, but I feel like you just answered it. Was that what attracted you to the project, is seeing, like, how did you get involved? Like, what was it that made you go, I want to be a part of this?
Yeah. The footage by itself. So I first met Steve and Dione over Zoom. Great first impression. And then they showed me some footage, and I had a really good first impression from the footage, but then actually I got to spend a few days with them in person.
Once you got to see them.
And we got to watch it together.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest, I don't know how else to put this, like the biggest green flag for me as far as...
No, I get it.
Because they not only do they care so deeply about the main kind of artists that we follow, but they can point out like anyone in the background, they know their names, they have relationships.
So they made that relationship.
They're there all the time, and they like there's so much care that goes into the way that they work there, and how like they're not just like coming and going. This is a lifelong project for them and lifelong relationship.
Hey, what's happening?
I'm good.
What's happening, Buzzworthy Radio Podcast?
Listen, we're talking about Jail Time Records, man.
Yeah.
And you're involved in this. You're the EP of this?
Yeah. What was it? And my wife Rita. We EP this, and we we got in touch with Artist Equity, with Matt and Lisa Damon, and
Yes.
got them all together and helped Steve and Dione get their film finished.
I was going to say, I heard a comment saying that this was important that you got this film finished. Why was that important to you that this got done?
Now, it's been a couple of years since I think the only good thing that came out of Instagram was me stumbling across this music video that these guys had produced, and I was awestruck. And it's got these guys, this prison painted red, and really
I did see that. Yep.
some incredible imagery, and I said, "Who are you guys? What the heck is happening?" And they said, "Well, we've shot hundreds of hours of footage in Cameroon's biggest prison in this hip hop studio that we created, and we would love to figure out a way to turn this into a film." And that's where I said, "Hey, guess what I do?"
So different.
Also accurate.
And I said, "I can help with that."
Yeah.
And that's basically what I did. I said, I don't want anything from you other than I need to make sure this thing gets finished.
Yeah.
And so for a couple of years, we got an editor, and then they worked, toiled away, and I just left them to it.
Yeah.
It's your vision, your films. You just do it. All I want is for it to be done.
I just want it to be done, and I want people to see it.
Yeah, and I want people to see it. I want it to travel, so people get to see this a part of the world I guarantee will never go to, and a place in that part of the world, and in an institution, in a building, in a compound, they 1,000,000% will never go to. So and this is the only way to see that stuff. Is through documentaries.
What would, in your opinion, people will take away from when they do see it? Because I hear a lot of things talking about joy, and because you're seeing aspects of when you're in prison that we are accustomed in our minds thinking of when we think of prison.
Yeah.
So what do you think is going to be the biggest takeaway when people watch this?
I think my hope is that, none of us are in this for money. It's documentary.
No,
we want to see.
I'm a big fan of
the story. Anyway. We want to see how other people live. That don't look like us, that don't live like us,
right?
But they feel like us. Is my main thing. You got to, but for humanity to have any hope, especially in this country, have to understand how other people feel across the world, and like that they are exactly like us.
Yeah.
And I need to just drop bombs on them because we don't understand them. We'll
go on a podcast and talk about that as in depth if you'd like.
Right, it's a whole different documentary.
That'll be a whole different doc where it'll just be like, "I got an hour for you. We'll do that.
Yeah.
We got an hour for that." But yes, I agree 100% for that. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I heard so many great things about it, so I'm excited, and I really am glad that I got to talk to you about it. Appreciate it.
Our congratulations goes out to the crew of Jail Time Records as they were awarded Best Documentary Feature and the Albert Maysles Award for Best New Documentary Director at the Tribeca Festival. Truly deserved, and hopefully everybody gets the opportunity to see this.
Thanks for tuning in to The Buzz. Catch all episodes on Spotify. Remember to like and subscribe. Visit buzzworthyradiocast.com.